What up? What up? It's your man T Drape coming back to you. Carry On Tradition podcast. Coach T, my man, as always, is riding with me. Coach T, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, another beautiful day, baby. Hey, it's a game time, game day. So I'm excited to see what we look like, man. See, these young guys. I'm excited about the whole experience. Let's do it.
Absolutely. It's a great time. Like you said, later today, 7 p.m., the Baltimore Ravens will come in for preseason game 2. Before we kick that off, Coach, I wanted to talk a little bit about the ending of camp. As you know, camp in Oxnard, California has ended for the Dallas Cowboys. Coach, it's been, I think, 15 practices that have been carried on and conducted. A lot of things have happened, a lot of storylines. I'd like to get your thoughts on, Coach, on camp, maybe something that stood out to you or something that you remember from this year's camp.
I mean, not so much what I remember but I think our depth at the receiving core stood out. Of course, CD and GP have shown during this camp that they are a lethal combination. And you add in Ferguson, but like I said, the depth. We got Trayshawn Holden, who's playing like he wants a spot. We got Flournoy, who made a great diving catch the other day, but said he wants to make a spot. He wants a spot. You got Jalen Tolbert, the returning number 3 wide receiver, says he wants to keep his spot. We just re-signed Turpin. We've been giving him more looks, in the backfield and at the receiver position. He wants a spot. I don't know how many I've named there, but now and then we haven't even named Mingo, or Jalen Brooks, or Mr. Training Camp Cropper. He always he wasn't as loud this year, but I mean we have a lot of options. So I mean that really showed our depth there, and maybe we can rob Peter to pay Paul. Take from the receiver position and give to the D tackle position.
We need it there, man. We need it there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought all in all, man, it was a good camp this year. It was a different kind of camp. You're rolling out Schotty as the new head coach. You had some off-field things, as far as the contract things that are going on. But all in all, I thought it was a good camp. Today's game, game 2, I think it'll even be able to give us a better, answer or a better look at how the team is performing up to this point. Because this time, as Coach had noted in our last session, we wanted to see some of them other guys play. And today, Coach, from what I'm hearing, we are going to see a lot of the guys that we didn't see. Your guy, Tyler Booker, should get a lot of reps out there, so we should be able to see and evaluate him. But all in all, I thought preseason was good. I thought there was a lot of work from everything from the way the camp started. I think the camp, the way it was structured, the energy, the way the coaches were involved. I think it was a good camp. So we'll see how good a camp it was, like I said, as we get a little bit further into this preseason, as we move further to our first battle against the Eagles. So all in all, like you said, Coach, I thought, man, it was a pretty good camp for us.
Yeah.
So,
very productive, man. But we still got some questions, but I thought it was a productive camp.
Yes, sir.
On the field, we'll keep it on the field.
Yep.
We'll keep it on the field. The field, it was very productive.
Yeah. And that kind of brings us to the next segment that I wanted to kind of shift to, and that is our preseason game tonight against the Ravens. Coach, this is going to be a good game for us. I think it's going to be a good opportunity for us to evaluate these young players and be able to understand really what we have, and it's going to be another opportunity for these guys to make this 53. So I think there will be a lot of battles and things that will be going on out there, position battles that need to be won. Like I said, a lot of evaluations going on for these coaches. First thing I want to start out talking about is we'll start like we did in the other preseason previews. Let's talk a little bit about the quarterback situation. So we have, looking at trying to figure out who's going to be the second team quarterback. From everything I'm hearing, Joe Milton will be out there today. He's expected to get a lot of reps. And I think the biggest thing with Joe, Coach, is going to be consistency. We need to see consistency out of him. He said that, this during this week's practice week that, he was a little nervous when he got out there, a little bit excited. So he looks like, he feels like he's going to be a different player, and you'll see something different. What's your thoughts on Joe, Coach, getting his second preseason game underneath him tonight?
We got to see if we can depend on him to be a number 2 quarterback. We know Dak is, he has a tendency to miss some games for, ding here, ding there. So we want to make sure we have a capable backup who can, keep the train going and rolling. Last week he had some bad misses, and so we want some more consistency from him from the beginning. I heard Schotty say he did the first 6 plays were passes because he wanted to get, see him. And I think that was totally wrong to
I
try
agree
to,
with you. I agree with you.
Get the guy in the
let him
game
hand the ball off a little bit. Let him touch the pigskin a little bit, hand it off. And then, I think that, he could have got in rhythm that way. But, we ain't going to cry over spilled milk. But, it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. But
but we got to get him. We got to get him a lot of work.
Got to.
Got to get him a lot of work.
Strong arm, a lot of athleticism. Let's see if we can put it together. So Greer, we talked about Greer. Greer looked all right when he got in there, man. He's a guy that when he gets some opportunities, man, and the lights come on, he performs. So I'm not sure how much playing time he'll get today, but definitely going to keep him in mind too, because he's been making some plays for us.
Right, absolutely. He's a vet, and they know what they're getting from him. Mm-hmm. So that's why they really want to give Joe Milton as much tick as possible. He's 6 years in the league, 6 years in the league. So he's a vet. They pretty much know what they got in him.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Coach. But should be good to see it. I don't think we'll see Dak. I'm absolutely sure that we won't see any Dak today. He'll have the baseball cap and the clipboard on. Speaking on Dak real quick, just on his camp, I thought he had a pretty good camp. I think he's building a relationship with the receivers, and him and GP is getting on the same page. Starting to learn how to play with each other and tendencies and things like that. But I thought he had a pretty good camp from what I'm hearing from out of Oxnard, Coach.
Absolutely, I do. I thought he did also. Some people talking about the interception. He threw a few interceptions during this camp, but he's got a new offensive system that he's going to, and new receivers, like you said. So, and it's training camp, man. If I'd rather you throw a pick now to understand, that play versus that defense, so you won't do it in the regular season.
Yeah, work out the kinks now. Work out the kinks now. I'm totally with you there, Coach. Let's keep it moving. I think the next thing I want to talk about is the running back war. That's going to be something that we really should be excited about today.
Is Sanders playing?
Yes. From everything that I'm hearing, the reports is that he will be out there. So that's going to be something that I think is going to be really good. The one guy that we got to keep an eye on, of course, that everybody's anticipating wanting to see is Jadon Blue. They're saying before that he wasn't going to play, but then yesterday, Schotty reported that they're going to evaluate him, in the pregame, let him get out there, run through some drills, and then see if he's ready to go. I would err on caution with that, Coach. I would just, I don't want to force him, and get him out there and get him hurt. But that's what they're saying. If there's if he looks good out there going through, the pregame, they'll make an evaluation. It'll be a game time decision. So we might see him.
I want to see Maffa. I don't want to see Jaden Blue if it's a game time decision on a preseason game. Mm-hmm. You talked about not playing Tyler Booker last week. Mm-hmm. Shoot, you can't play somebody who's coming off of an injury, and you got to determine if they can play in the pregame. Mm-hmm. No, he shouldn't play. No,
yeah, I'm with you. I'm not with throwing him out there, if he's not all the way ready. If he is ready, I think it was like a bruise, ankle or bruise heel, something like that. If he is ready, I would just wait and just hold him out to week 3, because he's going to be a guy that we're going to definitely need. We don't have anybody with that speed and that change of the change of pace that he would give us if he came into the game. So, yeah, I'm totally with you, Coach, because we got enough to see. Right now, Williams is looking like he's the lead back right now. So you still got Sanders. As Coach had mentioned, he'll be playing. You got Deuce Vaughn. That's still, you got to make a decision there. And then Maffa, coming off what everyone is saying out of Oxnard, had a hell of a week of practice, and is still, drawing a lot of attention. So how many backs do you see us keeping, Coach? Do you see us keeping 4? Because you got to, you got to count your guy. You got to count your guy
Lefty.
in. Got to count him in.
Don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that.
So you're saying three backs and counting Loki makes 4? Yeah, where we at numbers wise?
Pretty much. That's pretty much it. You say Jay and Blue, boom. Mm-hmm. You said Javonte Williams. So could you sneak Phil Maffa on the practice squad?
I don't know, but you know something? You know something? I just, Coach, really that we not even giving this guy any due justice. And I was thinking about it is that, man, Malik Davis, man, ran his ass off last game. 63 yards. And, I mean, he came in behind Maffa, and we credited Maffa with how great he looked. I mean, Malik Davis got brought onto the team at the last moment. And it's not like he's not been a guy that we've seen shine before. I mean, some of his problems had to do with, I'm hearing some things that were, attitude-wise, and, he may have blew some chances that he had early. So, but the guy looked good when they gave him the ball, man. I don't know if he was running against the last line of defense, like his third or fourth string, but 63 yards, man. I can't remember how many carries it was. That's not nothing to take lightly. 7 carries?
Yeah, I believe so, somewhere around there.
And there were nice explosive runs. He broke some tackles. You have to put him in the mix. If he comes out there today and gets carries and he does something, like, could he be a guy that could sneak in there? Or you think he's just destined for the practice squad, no matter how you look at it?
Yeah, Malik Davis. Yeah, I mean, he had a good game. He's shown, ability, since he, when he was here before. Because I was in the Malik Davis camp when it was he or Rico. I was like, man, I like Malik. Mm-hmm. But he struggled, so we'll see if he gets some carries tonight, because I would imagine that you have to give Deuce some carries. You only gave him 2 carries last. How are you evaluating him?
Right. And I gotta think he's on that cut line.
These guys 10 carries and 7 carries, and so so we gotta. It's I think it's gonna go down to the wire. This game will show something, and then we'll have to see the next week against the Falcons, I believe, in our final preseason game to figure it out, to see how it shakes out, man. Because it seems muddy, but I'm looking for the cream. At least somebody rise to the top. I guess that's Javonte Williams, but.
Right now, that's what they're saying. But, man, somebody could come out here in this preseason game tonight and really make a case for it. I don't think it's nothing that's solid with him. It's not locked away that he's going to be the number 1 running back. So it's going to be interesting. That'll be a good one to watch tonight. So we want to make sure we keep a close attention to that. Next, I want to shift a little bit to the offensive line. As we mentioned earlier. We're going to see Tyler Booker today. Should get some good reps against what's probably going to be, would be looked at as a nice, young, talented defensive line for the Ravens. The Ravens has got some talent there and some depth there, so that should be some good work for him. Coach, what are you looking to see out of Tyler today?
I'm just looking to see him just perform as a professional, see if he can move people, in the run game.
Yeah.
See how his feet are and hands are in the pass protection game, so.
Yep. I'm looking to see if he improves.
I want to see Nathan Thomas. I want to see him get more than 10 snaps. He's going to be a starting left tackle. He got to get some more reps. I want to see him. See how he does. I want to see what's the other dude, Cornelius, who had 0 pressures in 20
kid from out of Oregon. Yeah, kid from out of Oregon.
Yeah, Ajaneka. Man. So it's a lot with this line, man. It's like you said, it's a lot to shake out.
It is. We should see everyone out there, get some good reps today, man. There's a lot of time out there to get these guys out there and get them some reps. Booker, I'm looking to see if he take that next step in the scrimmage against the Rams. A couple of times they're saying he was having some issues with reach, getting out, being able to get to that tackle being moved outside. He was having some troubles getting out there. So, yeah, just want to see how his feet is, how he handles the pass rush, and make sure he's taking that next step, because that Zach Martin replacement at right guard is going to be a huge piece of what we need to do as far as running that ball. And like you said, Nate, It'll be great to see him out there. Everything you've been hearing has been good for him. So want to see how he's taking the next step. I also want to see Bass. Want to watch Bass and see if he continues his play well. BB, get a look at that guy, this week. So we should see that whole line, man, and really get a feel for what direction and how that run game is going to shake out for us. So really looking forward to seeing the offensive line, Coach.
Absolutely, much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's talk about the wide receiver room. What you want to see out there from the wide receivers? That's another one. I think running back and wide receivers are going to be some really competitive battles and come down to the end.
Yeah, I've talked enough about the wide receiver. We got a lot of talent, but not enough spots. So something's got to shake. So we'll see. Everything is being evaluated. So we'll see. Like I said, I have. What are your thoughts on the receiver? What do you want to see?
I just want to see an opportunity to see Flournoy. I want to see those guys get some opportunities out there early. Get a good look at them. I'm with you, Coach. I think we've talked deeply about the wide receiver room and where we see that shaking out. I mean, the separation is what I'm looking for. Like, who's going to come out and kind of take that step to separate themselves from that tight bunch? Whether it be Trayshawn Holden, him continuing his elevation and his climb. What is Mingo going to do? Is Mingo really going to step up? Like, can we count him as the third receiver behind the 1 and the 2? CD and Pickens, who's that? Who's stepping up as that guy? Does Tolbert come out and just blow us away? You know what I'm saying? I would be very surprised if he did. But, it's a story. It's a storyline there to be told. So we'll definitely, keep a close eye on that and see how that shapes up. So I wonder if Jalen Brooks is playing. I haven't seen him on the injury list. I know he was battling an injury coming out of the preseason game. So I want to see if he's in there. He really needs to keep keep making plays and keep making splashes to keep himself. But I think special teams really helps him out. So let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. I think this is the area that I'm really, wanting to see improvement. I mean, really last week, the run game and the pass game, we didn't look sharp. So I'm interested to see how the defensive line and the linebackers play in this game, Coach.
Oh, that's the big thing is the interior of the defense. The tackles, man. I want to see Mozzie talked a good game about how he was upset with his play. He didn't do anything. We'll see. Well, he has another chance today, so he has to give us something. I want to see what Perry. I want to see if Perrion Winfrey can repeat what he did last week, man. At that defensive tackle position, can he take a spot? Jay Toya, can he improve on that? He was decent against the Rams, but he's our biggest guy. Can he consistently take on the double teams and not turn and whatever, and just be the big guy in the middle that we haven't had in forever, And then I want to see. I'm hoping Sanborn and Murray play. I want to see those two in the middle. So man, it's because we cannot allow 181 yards again. I know that.
Yeah, we got to get better. We got to be better, man, at that. And I think everyone that you called out is exactly, who I want to see. That's the right people, and someone's got to step up. Someone's got to, show. I think Maris, what he showed last week in the camp that he's had, I think he's one of the lead guys out there that's going to be as part of one of the three linebackers. I'm hoping he continues to play well. Like you said, Coach, we got to see these guys. We got to see. I want to see Murray, man. I know you've talked about Murray and his run defense has not been in the past. He's not been good at the run stop, and we're going to put him in the middle. We got to see something. So I'm interested to see how that storyline plays out. And then, of course, the secondary. The secondary is another thing that has to improve, man. So the cornerbacks who are playing out there, it's cut time. You guys got to show up. So I know Elam will probably get some time out there. We'll get to see him. I haven't heard anything about Carson. He's still injured, right? He's still on the injury list. I think he had quite a length of time or duration that he needed to get back right. But yeah, let's see who's out there, man. So, Booth and them guys like that, to me, this is it. You're gonna have a substantial game today, in order to be even considered to make this team. But somebody's got to step up, man. We got to feel confident because we've lost decent defensive backs, corners throughout the year. That's been a place that injuries have bit us in the butt a lot. So you got to have some guys that you feel confident that can come and take that second position. And then the big one is going to be the nickel back. You spoke about Childress, the guy at Kentucky. There's a chance he might be with that first group. He's been playing so well. So who's going to step up and who's going to take that? Will Izzy, get the job? He's battling for it. Then you have also, what's my guy number 43?
Keemon Hall.
Hall is in the play for it, and Childress. So that's an interesting, man. That nickel back, man, replacing Jordan Lewis in our defense is going to be a key. So that storyline should be good too.
Yes, Childress is the guy that's really everybody wants to see if he can build on what he did. We talked about going from week one, Lamperon Winfrey, a really good game. Can he build on that? Childress went from nobody to now he has a real shot at starting out at that nickel corner. And when you watch, I saw a couple clips of him in coverage.
Mm-hmm.
He might not be the fastest, but he anticipates, man, and he knows what he's doing out there, man, and he has really good coverage on a couple of them. He didn't get a couple of many passes thrown his way.
That means he must have had his guy on lock. So that's the part I want to see.
Bringing the wood.
Mm-hmm. That's the part I want to see, Coach, because we know, man, and that slot position, man, that is the key to being able to hold up on a lot of times on getting off that field on third down. You got to have good feet and you got to be able to run. You know what I mean? That's generally where you're going to get a lot of inside routes, guys running across the field. And hopefully we get pressure on that quarterback and he don't have time to get that off. But that's where you have got to really be solid in your secondary. So that is one that we really pay attention to today. So Cowboy Nation, keep an eye on that one. What do you think about Israel, man, about Izzy, man? I know he had the big interception last week. We were wondering why he was playing so early because we've seen him. I think we know what he brings to the table, but it seems like he got put out there. And I read a little something. I can't remember who the article was from, but they were saying there's a possibility that he could be crunched in those numbers when it comes down to making the team. I think he's been with us maybe 6 or 7 seasons, so he may have to, maybe one of those ones where he's going to have a real big day today too, man, to keep himself, in that position to make this team.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out. Yes, I'm trying to figure out because he's always been productive when he's been out there.
I think productive, Coach, but not consistent.
So versatile. You don't really want to give up somebody who's as versatile as him. He can play the nickel or the outside corner spot in a pinch.
Mm-hmm.
He can play the safety position.
If you just thinking back though, you remember when we had him and Nashawn Wright? They were battling a lot of times, early on, and he has had opportunities. He's played well at times, but I think the biggest thing with him is just he needs to string together like some games and some consistency would really help him. I think, and you have a new coach with Eberflus. I'm not sure, if he's one of his guys, but let's see what he does out there. I'm hoping he makes the team because you made some great points. What is he, 6'3", 6'4"? With his size and ability and skill set. I mean, let's find a place for him. So I'm hoping, everything works out with him. But he's part of those guys that are battling for that nickel back spot for that slot DBs.
They said he's 25 years old. Is that right?
He's been with us at least 6 or 7 seasons.
5 years.
5 years? So this is year 6.
So this absolutely.
So this is year 6. Yeah. So he's been with us, man, for a minute. He's been with us for
25 years old, though. He's still a young guy.
Yeah.
Ain't like he's pushing 30. Well, shoot.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So on the defensive side, I think, man, we're looking for an improvement on that defensive line and those linebackers. Definitely with tackling. Tackling was something that was just really bad in that last scrimmage. So we definitely want to make sure that we see an improvement as far as our team. And I know we spent individual drill time this week trying to shore up, going back to basics, man. They had mats out. And they was just walking through, just form tackling, squaring up, being in the right position, getting your head across on the ball side, just things that you go back to football 101. They was doing this week in practice, So sometimes, man, you just have to focus on areas where you really need to improve at. So at least, they were at least calling out and making that known and trying to improve in that area.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Coach, man, this is a big game. And everybody probably preseason. A lot of people don't look at it as being, it's preseason. I'll watch once the season starts. But this is really, a time where you can really enjoy football. Because for one, you're going to be looking at players that could possibly be your starters. You can take a look and see what the depth is going to look like for your team this year. A lot of great evaluations. So I'm excited, man. I'm really excited to see this game this evening, Coach, man. And I'm hoping that it'll be a lot better performance in game 2 than what we've seen in game 1.
Yeah, and I hope, I hope it will be. And we had a lot of young guys out there, but not the first time. So now they've gotten their feet wet. So I'm hoping, we and plus we're bringing a lot more guys who didn't play.
Yeah,
that first time should be playing this second time.
Yeah.
So the preseason is about evaluation. Mm-hmm. We talked about all the guys that we want to see, being evaluated. Hopefully, it might be a little. Another guy we ain't talk about was that tight end, man, who caught that Fairwealth.
The undrafted guy. The undrafted guy. What'd you say? Is that a Virginia, Coach?
Shoot. Nah, he's out of Auburn.
Okay.
Revolve.
Matter of fact, I do remember that kid playing last year for Auburn and making some big plays. Hey, man, I think he led us in receptions in the last game. Mm-hmm. He seemed like he has a knack for getting open, and that's something you can't teach. So
right.
What's my guy, our tight end that always has been on the team but has constantly just gotten hurt, but we bring him back every year. I'm talking about John Stevens Jr. John Stevens Jr. Yeah, John Stevens Jr. Like that might be something that you're looking at. Yeah, he may be able to, take that spot because they've kept John Stevens around for a while, so he might be able to leap that spot. So you're right, Coach. That's another one to keep an eye on. I think he was wearing what number was he? 45.
45, yes, sir.
Yeah, 45.
But, we also don't forget about Brevin Spanford. He was balling.
Yeah.
Before he got hurt.
Right. He really made a lot of
another undrafted free agent.
Yeah, and that scrimmage, that early scrimmage against that inter-squad scrimmage against the Rams, he did really well. He made a lot of nice catches in that one. So you're right, man. And I see he's questionable for today. I'm not sure if he's going to be out there because of that injury, but I think he was the guy that they was counting to make this roster. So
that puts Schoonmaker.
Schoonmaker's going to be there. I'm sure Schoonmaker. I think so. I mean, Schoonmaker has gotten better. Last year, I think the way he ended the season, he's a second-round pick, man. So I expect him to be given a little leeway, even if they're not feeling he's reached where they want him to. So I think they'll have a little patience with him.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man. Yep. So yeah, Coach, man, I think that's a good preview of what we're going to see tonight, man. Just looking forward to watching that game. Coach, you got anything else before you give them the parting shots?
No, sir. I'm just ready to watch this game, man, and then we're going to get back on and we're going to talk about it a little bit. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man, and breaking this film down. And, we'll have a while before that final preseason game. So there'll be a lot to talk about, man, a lot of material, and just looking forward to it. Coach, man, do your thing, man. Take us out of here. Come on, man. It ain't nothing to pay that man. There it is.